Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. With me is Babyface Chris Calfer. He's back from his sickness. He's pulling the ultimate babyface. He's back, coming over
That's right.
adversity. We're here to talk about some AEW with him. And of course, we have Miami Clutch, who does not miss shows. He's the Cody Rhodes of this show. I'm just saying.
Mr. Consistency.
It's like 5 a.m. over there. Like he's drinking coffee over here. I don't know what time it is over there. But
It's one. It's one. It's not too bad.
Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You know what? I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning a lot 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen 1 o'clock in the morning ever. Like, Chris knows. Chris knows. Yeah, we're in bed early over here. We're old Clutch. But we're here to talk about SmackDown moving over to the USA Network. Raw happened, I guess. That was fun. And then AEW still exists, so we got to talk about them as well. Let's not waste any time because we do also have the Pro Wrestling Illustrated top 500 list that we're going to talk about. It's always fun to break these things down because some people take them too seriously. Some people don't take them serious at all. It's just funny to see where we all land on this situation. So let's go into it right now. SmackDown was on the USA Network. It opened with a massive, unbelievable, pretty good cage match. And I hate cage matches between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa. And this is probably Solo Sikoa's best match. Clutch. How did the match go down with you? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? There was some color. I saw some blood.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I liked it a lot. I mean, you said it. Solo's best match on the main roster, at least by far, like by a country mile. He had some bangers of like NXT like early on, but like main roster wise, best thing he's done by far. And again, Cody just consistently putting up quality championship matches. And that's what he's been doing since he started his reign. So, yeah, steel cage match, really good. Even got a nice little dive off the top of the cage. It was nice.
I thought he was going to backflip.
I thought he was going to do the AEW spot. And then I was like, okay, he save that for like a War Games or something.
Yeah. I thought for sure he was backflipping because the way he pulled himself up, I'm like, what is this guy doing for a SmackDown? But then again, this is the same guy who lit a table on fire versus Andrade in a meaningless match. And then he went through the table. So remember that spot, Chris? Like what we were like, why is Andrade and Cody happening? And why is it some blood feud where they use every weapon in the world and Brandy's lighting the table on fire? Cody's a crazy mother effer, man. He'll do things. So nice to see he's opening up in AEW or in WWE, and so is everybody else. It's a pretty much open show now. It can do more things that are more interesting because the cage matches in the past, it was grab them by their hair, slam them against the cage, rub their head against the cage. That's slam the door on someone's arm. Like that was the extent of a cage match.
Yeah. Hunters open up the moveset for everybody.
Yeah, and it's a much better show. So after the match, we had the Tongans, we had Fat Two all come out and climb the cage.
I thought he was going to jump off that cage.
Oh, Fat Two?
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. That would have been cool, but I don't think. Yeah, man. Wrestling 101. He's on top of the cage. Cody's laid out, right? He's about to get splashed by Fat Two or whatever he's going to do. And then we hear Roman's music. And then, of course, Fat Two's guy on top of the cage looking like a crazy maniac. Just, and instead of doing it, he slowly just climbs down. And Roman isn't even out yet. Roman took forever to come out. Am I wrong, Clutch? Am I over-exaggerating?
You're exaggerating a little bit.
Okay,
the person that took the longest of the whole thing was Jacob to come back down from the top of the cage. Because enough time for Roman to get into the ring, beat up the Tongans, and then Jacob came down.
Roman pulled a Jeff Hardy, except for just imagine Jeff Hardy never stopped dancing on the way to the ring when Matt Hardy was getting beat up. Like Roman just walked his slow ass to the cage as all of them were just watching. They could have all been beating up Cody. Like they could have destroyed Cody in the time Roman got into the ring, but it was dramatic. It was cool. They had to get that shot of him.
The way he slammed the cage.
Slamming the door. They had to get that visual, and it was impactful. It was great. It is the way the segment ended with Cody and Roman just looking at each other, and Roman's kind of looking over at the bloodline, and Cody's looking at Roman, and you can feel the tension. And I'm like, wasn't I the guy last week who said they're going to be a tag team in Bad Blood, and they're not going to defend the title. Cody's not defending the title at Bad Blood. Now we know it's a tag match. It's Cody and Roman, the new Mega Powers, versus Solo and Fatu. So, Clutch, this is your thing. Tell us why we should be excited.
I mean, I don't know how much you'll agree with it or not, but this is like this generation's version of like, Rock and Austin teaming up with each other and against a common enemy or whatever. And neither of them wanted to do it. They sold the story really well. It's not like, oh, we're friends now, we respect each other. No, Cody wanted to be done with the bloodline and then got kind of suckered back in. And then Roman didn't want anything to do with Cody. He said it's family business, and things like that happened. Roman set it up pretty well in the closing segment. He was like, "This is my WWE. This is my thing." And then Cody came out. It's like, "No, it's not yours. It hasn't been yours since WrestleMania." So I like how they didn't just brush the whole rivalry thing under the table, because they could genuinely do a third match and it would be really good. And not just be like, okay, we're friends now, but no, there's still serious tension between them.
This is the best that they can do with a can they coexist storyline, because you have two guys that are still selling the fact that they don't like each other, and they have common enemies. And I'm just afraid. And Chris Koffler, I know you know this. They WWE loves to do. Well, let's put Austin and Triple H together and give them the tag titles. Let's give Rock and Mankind a tag. They always like to, make two megastars and they put them together. It went back from Hogan and Warrior. So would you be interested, Chris, if Cody and Roman are tag team champions and they beat the Bloodline, because they currently hold the tag team titles right now, and then going into Bad Blood is for the titles? I'm just putting it up there.
No, I don't want to see that. But then again, I'm also a little biased in the sense of I don't like people having too many titles and everything getting tied up into one person. So I don't want to see Cody be a tag champion, And I've never, aside from, see, now you almost had me completely agreeing with you, but you threw in one example that I loved. And so, Austin and Triple H putting two big, I didn't really like that too much. But the Rock and Sock connection, come on, everybody loved that.
I know. I mean, no, I loved it. I loved it, but you're right. It wasn't the same because
it had that real. They did the comedy element to that really well.
Yeah, so that's not the same, because Mankind really, really, really wanted to be the Rock's partner, whereas you can tell Cody and Roman, they're not really interested at this point. They just are doing it for one common goal. I'm excited to see Jimmy or Fatu versus Roman in the ring, because that's going to have to happen at Bad Blood. That's going to be phenomenal. Clutch.
They put it over again during the interference spot, or not the interference, post-match, when Roman came down. When he shut the door, it was face-to-face with Jacob, and not face-to-face with Solo. It was Jacob. And they keep putting him over as he's going to be the next one of the next world champions in the future. It's him. It's not going to be Solo.
Yeah. Yep, I can see that coming. I can't wait for it. This is a great, I feel like this storyline's been going on for 3 years. It's not boring. It got boring in between. Listen, we watch 3-hour movies, right? And these 3-hour movies have low points, because those low points make the high points even higher. And I feel like this is one of the highest points of the whole storyline. And I just can't wait till everyone comes back. Sammy and Jay and Jimmy. I still have to believe it's coming. I still have to believe, because what else could be the War Games match? But when is it going to happen? I'm just waiting and nothing's happening. So this can lead into Raw, where Jay is at, and Jay is feuding with Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Would it make sense right now, Clutch, for Jay to even win this title, or is this going to be a throwaway match? And why are they making Jay lose all the time?
I don't know, because so many times, like you've said, he's had these opportunities and he's just lost. You would think you could win, but at the same time, you don't want Braun's first reign to be this short. So it got kind of weird. Personally, I thought they were going to go with Ilya to win, and then he can take the loss. That's fine. But they went with Jay. I'm the only way to save this without like Jay looking too bad, oh, he lost again, is just some shenanigans going down. But I don't know how willing you'd have like the bloodline be involved on Raw this early on, still ways away from Survivor Series. Because yeah, then I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I don't know. The Jay thing is interesting because he just cut a promo that was really good. What like he he didn't do the yeet stuff. He was Jey Uso. He was doing his thing like, and it was really really good. But if he loses again, then we're kind of back at square one. You get, I think you put it in the chat, demoted back to Us, and that's it. But yeah, the Jay thing is kind of interesting. I don't know where they're going.
I heard one content creator, I forgot who it was. I forgot. I wish I can give this person credit because it kind of makes sense. It's like, how can they get Jay and Sam back? Well, there's two ways to do it. Well, there's one way, and this is the best way. He said, and I forgot. I wish I remember who it was, but have Jay lose to Braun Breaker. He's down on his luck. He can't win a singles title. Yada yada yada. Sammy loses to Gunther. He's kind of upset. And like they've been friends. They talk in the back all the time. Remember, Jay asked for, "Hey, can I go after this IC title?" Yeah, remember, they're friends. And then like, man, we cannot win a title. We got to team up and we got to win tag team gold. And then somehow it could lead towards them and the Bloodline because they have a tag team championship too. I don't know where this is going to go. And this is not my idea. This is the idea I heard. But that's a good way to get them involved. Like their tag team championships. The Bloodline has a tag team champions. Maybe they have some kind of unification match because they realize this 2 tag team thing isn't working. I don't know. But that sounds pretty good. Like, how else could they do it? Because Roman doesn't come to Raw. You know, Cody doesn't come to Raw. So how Paul Heyman, I guess he would have to go to Raw to get these guys?
That would be a good shot. Like they're both down on their luck, lost their title matches, and you just see Paul Heyman pop out of nowhere. That's gonna get a pop, and you know where it's going after that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I just something because Sammy, he's gonna lose to Gunther, and Jay's gonna lose to Braun Breaker. They're gonna be great matches, but they're both gonna be losers, and in the end, they need to get reunited with Roman. We didn't talk about the new design for SmackDown.
Oh, that's right,
Chris. You saw that? I know you did.
Yeah, SmackDown.
SmackDown. Yeah,
SmackDown Live. Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's fine. It's serviceable.
All right. Clutch, do you like it?
Let me ask you guys though. I want to ask you guys on SmackDown. Did it feel any different? Did it have like a different vibe to it now that it's on a different? Because I heard some people, one of the things I saw that people were disappointed. I guess they were still censoring things heavily.
Yes.
On that opening show, and people thought with them switching networks, getting away from Fox, that maybe that would go away some. So, like, what was the overall feel on it? Aside, logo aside, or even with the logo, does it feel like a new program?
I'll
let Clutch answer because he's more of a SmackDown viewer.
I think the complaint about the censoring was a little exaggerated. It was heavy censored during some points during the opening part of SmackDown. It was, but towards the end it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't an issue. But yeah, I think it's a little bit overblown. I think towards the beginning, I don't know who handles the little censor button, but I think they were censoring for some reason the beginning of like OTC chants. Maybe they thought something else was being said. But yeah, the censoring thing I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's going to be way better than Fox. And for the rebrand itself, like the logo is kind of like it stayed true to like the original like concept of the logo. You just made the S and the D like the little thing. I think it's cool. It's nothing too special, but it's not bad. How do you guys feel about the intro song? I see a lot of opinions about that.
I was going to ask you about that. So, because you're younger than us, obviously, right? We grew up with the get the drugs, the money, right? Like we like the heart. That gets you excited for an action-packed wrestling show, right? When I'm thinking Rambo, I'm thinking like heavy metal. Let's get fucking going. So, as an older dude who doesn't listen to that type of music, now I remember Raw, they chose NF. Maybe a couple years ago. Remember that NF was the theme song for.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I like NF. NF's a person I would like to listen to. It's not the new age, either be like hip hop, techno. I can't explain it because I'm old. I don't know how to say it, Clutch, without sounding like a piece of shit. But like, I'm sorry. When I think pro wrestling, I think of hardcore. Like, that's good. Like, let's get it on, move to the music, and then that gets me ready for a show. This doesn't, man. And I can say the same thing for Collision when they did Saturday Night is a good night for Fight. I thought that shit sucked too. So I will put that there too. It's a totally different genre. Still doesn't get me ready for wrestling.
Basically, what you're saying is whoever came up with that song, whoever picked out that song, they need to get off your lawn.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Get off my stinking lawn.
But that's just how I feel. And I know I think I'm in the minority these days. I really think I'm in the minority these days. Think about the music for PLEs. Like, it's always just fucking stuff that I don't know who they are. And it's like, not like, what happened to like the rolling, right? What happened to my wrestling music?
What happened to Limp Bizkit?
I'm not saying that, but like
they became uncool a long time ago.
Of course they did. But you know what? When fucking Undertaker comes out with that, and you watch an old PLE or pay per view at the time, and he comes out to roll, and you'll be popping. You would.
Yeah, it still slaps. It's good.
That's how I feel about it, Clutch. I'm just too old to get it. I'm too old to get it.
See, I'm okay with rap in my wrestling, but I think the song choice itself could have been better. I don't mind hip hop. I don't mind hip hop as an entrance theme. I think if it's the right song, it's great. I just don't like the song choice. It's not that I don't like Megan Thee Stallion. I don't listen to her, but it's not like I hate her. But yeah, the songs could have been better. Yeah,
that's
the
who
song.
It is?
That's Megan Thee Stallion and somebody else. Yeah. Good thing is, apparently, I don't know if you guys saw, Def Rebel's not getting renewed, and that they're going to start using actual artists for entrance music. So that should be a boost for the product.
Yes, big boost. Really, really big boost. Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know who that is. I only know her because she was in an episode of She-Hulk on that show. You guys ever watch the She-Hulk show on Disney Plus?
Yeah. Oh, when they started twerking, I remember that one.
Yeah, she was in it. That's the only, I know nothing of her except for that. So I'm not even kidding. That's how old I am. Did you guys see? I can go off on a whole thing about the VMAs that I saw clips of because my daughter made me watch it. I'm not going to say nothing because what the fuck happened to Katy Perry? Can we get into Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman real quick? This is everything we want. Meat slapping, right? Big man versus big man. This is my dream, Chris. You've been saying it since the first episode of this show. What do I like? Big sweaty dudes.
You love big sweaty dudes, big meaty men slapping meat. That's the Josh Kimmel special.
It's great. And I pop for it every single time. I'm not even a fan of Bronson Reed, and I'm not even a fan of Braun Strowman. When have you ever heard me say something good about any of these people? But for some reason, this is working. Like it really is. And I'm intrigued. Ever since the whole Tsunami Fest on Seth, I've been bought in on his character. And ever since Braun was pulled into this storyline, I've actually been invested in it. And I'm crazy. Like, Clutch, am I crazy?
No, this is I don't know if you followed it back then, but when Braun had his thing with the Roman, I think it was like 2017-ish. And it was like peak Braun before I think he got in trouble with Vince for something, and then they killed his run. But yeah, this is like peak Braun again, where he's just wrecking shit, and it's throwing somebody from the crowd into the person. Obviously, it was a plant, but yeah, just throwing a fan into them, going through barricades, through backstage, just murdering each. I like that shit. Sorry, Bobby, but yeah, like just. And it reminds me of they did kind of the similar thing with Braun and Bobby Lashley at some point, and it was great. So yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me the whole Lance Archer gimmick way back when we first were introducing Lance Archer. Chris, remember he would come out to his music and just throw some stage guy. Like, remember that? It was awesome. And Lance Archer was just so cool.
His video package introducing him was one of the best video packages I ever saw, with him beating up all the people in that little video and everything. It was so good. And then we quickly learned that his character was just
limited.
That he was the jobber heel that every babyface, when they first win the title, they beat him first.
Yeah.
That's his role in the company now. That's it.
Yeah, limited. But Braun Strowman, we thought he was limited, but he's doing some good things. I like it. I like to see a full heel Braun just causing more wreckage. He went from turning over ambulances when Roman was in it. Was it an ambulance?
Yep.
It was an ambulance, right?
Yeah, it was an
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great feud. Honestly, it was great.
I was just glad that they let Braun Strowman get as much in on Roman as they did, because I thought they were just gonna put the two of them together and just have Roman beat him up, and I was like, that would be so boring. It made that so much more interesting, and that's why he got over. Because remember, that's whenever Vince was shoving babyface Roman down our throats, and nobody wanted it, and Braun was the first one to beat him up, and that's what got him over.
Yeah. It really did. What's going on, Justin, in the chat? For all you guys tuning in, yes, our normal time is 7:30, but for football, Chris wanted to call in a little early, and why he really wanted to get to this Jets Patriots game. I don't know why. He's excited to watch Jets and Patriots. He's probably the only one, but it's all right. We're here for fantasy football, guys. I guess.
What are
right?
you talking about?
Yeah, what about some Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah, he's excited for Jacoby Brissett and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry's the biggest. He's got that stack, guys. He needs the over on both. Right,
listen,
Chris?
I almost picked up Hunter Henry last week, and I should have, but I didn't.
I started him. You should have listened to US. Anyway, we have some AEW nonsense we're going to cover real quick. Nothing crazy, but I had to ask you because you said you've been in and out of it. You've been sick, so you might not know what's happening. So I'll give you a little quick catch up. So on All Out, Jon Moxley committed attempted murder. Put the bag over Brian's head. We talked about it multiple times. Justin in the chat has told me this ode to Terry Funk doing it to Dusty or Ric Flair back in the day. I'm not going to get into it. Terrible spot. Terrible for the kids. Terrible for your sponsorships. Terrible for your network that you're trying to renew. Terrible for everything. Okay. Well, Jon Moxley is like, it's established that Bryan Danielson cannot defend his title against Darby Allin because of what happened, what conspired on All Out, right? Bryan cannot compete. It was established at the beginning of AEW 2 weeks ago. So Darby Allin put his title shot on the line on Jon Moxley so they're going to fight. Whoever wins gets the title shot against Bryan Danielson. Okay? Just because Bryan cannot wrestle. An hour later, in the same show, Nigel McGuinness comes out and he states, we cannot have a Grand Slam without the world champion wrestling. So I will be wrestling Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam, non-title match, and it's announced and it's official. So an hour ago, he could not wrestle. An hour ago, he could not wrestle because of the attack, the attempted murder attempt on him at All Out in Chicago. And an hour later, he's cleared, but they're no longer reinstating the match that they had fucking billed. Because I guess what, guys? Right after Darby and Jon Moxley left that ring, they signed that contract, and it was non-revocable, apparently, allegedly. An hour later, now he's wrestling in the Chris, what the hell's what's going on, man, with your company?
With my company?
What's going on with
my company now?
What's going on with your company, man? Hey, Moxley told me it's not my company anymore, so it must be your company at this point. I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. Now, obviously, they thought probably that was going to be a bigger match. It was a bigger deal. They should have figured out a better way to get to it than to, like you're saying, in the same show, cancel it for that excuse, but then immediately rebook him against somebody else. It's lazy. It's lazy booking. That's lazy booking at its finest.
Not even like after, not even on Rampage, like not even on, just literally an hour later. Like we forgot.
Yeah.
Clutch, did you hear this? Did you see this?
I'm glad I didn't, the way you're talking about it.
It's just ridiculous how they said that. So, be that as it may, I got to ask you this, Chris, and Chelsea, maybe you can fill me in because I'm not going to lie. AEW has been off my plate for the past 2 weeks. Guys, we gave up WWE for like 10 years because Vince was bad.
No.
We can do the same for AEW right now. Like it's this, we're not married to this product. So it's, to me, it's if I have time. It used to be appointment television. Now it's if I have time, and I'll catch the clips on YouTube. But Chris Jericho, all of a sudden, 4 years later, he wants some money from a jacket that was stained by Orange Cat. Wasn't this already resolved 4 years ago, Chris? When you were prime watch, this is your prime glory days of watching wrestling. AEW, but what did he never pay the man?
No, I don't think he did. He ruined his jacket, and he just remembered.
He just remembered.
Listen, it's long-term booking.
What the fuck is happening over there in AEW? Just what's happening?
Josh, you can't have it. You can't have it both ways. One story you said was too short. This one's too long. What do you want from Tony? He's got one story that didn't run even an hour, and the other one that went 4 years.
So Justin is right. They are saying, if you guys read the comment, that it may not happen because they realize how stupid their stuff was, so they had to cover themselves. But honestly, this is all just leading to me saying AEW is a shit show right now. It's a mess. I have no interest in watching it at the moment because of what they act like we're stupid. They literally, I believe Vince bought AEW. I'm not kidding.
And is secretly running it now?
Yes, I do. I have to believe that.
Like I was talking last night with Miranda about this. I'm like, it feels weird. Like, because we used to have our little group here and we used to watch. Me, her, and my buddy Chill. We used to watch every Wednesday night. And then we kind of took a little break from that for a while. But like now when we watch, like we don't watch as close lately. I'm like, I don't know. It's lacking. And I had just said what you're getting to right now. I'm like, it's weird. Some of the things that we complained about in the Vince era of WWE is now happening in AEW. Like there's a ton of pay-per-views and the roster is bloated. There's way too many matches on the pay-per-views to where that's like the whole thing's watered down. There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense going on in the show anymore. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. There'll be like one or two good things going on and at most, and the rest is just like not even worth mentioning. And I feel like that's what WWE was for like the last decade up until very recent when Triple H took over. Which we always knew it was going to be good when Triple H took over. I just wanted to see prime AEW from like 2019 through 2021 running simultaneously with the current WWE product. Think how good wrestling would be if we could have those two eras with those two companies going right now. It'd be so much better.
Yeah.
But why do we only get one or the other? Why can't we have both?
Yeah,
I'm greedy. I want it all.
It's so unfair. It is. It's truly unfair because you're right. Peak AEW in that time frame was peak wrestling. It was on top of the mountain. It was best storytelling. It was the best matches in ring.
Yeah.
And you watch WWE and it was a complete joke and you couldn't follow what was happening. And Kofi Kingston versus whoever wrestled 8 weeks in a row. And you even had the wrestlers saying, oh, rematch, or, they knew because it was just nobody knew what was happening. Yeah. And now they're awesome. Yep. And now their show is great and everything makes sense. And you get emotion and you get feeling. And now AEW is the total. I just don't know what happened.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Cody.
It's disappointing. Yeah, that's about I was thinking like that's the only major thing that I feel like that we can see. We don't know if there's other behind the scenes things going on, but I don't know. I wonder if it's Cody departure or is another part of it something that we were talking about last night. Remember before back then though, it was like their own different brand of wrestling. It was a lot of indie stars and only a few small select few big stars. Is there too many big stars there to where now there's too many egos and Tony's not the guy to keep them all straight? Like I believe Triple H can keep everyone in line and keep everyone in check, but because there's so many big stars now and they're all fighting for airtime, is it becoming a problem backstage now? You got too many. You were great when you had all the little independent wrestlers with just a Moxley and a Jericho and one or two other guys sprinkled in.
Right? Yeah. You're right, man. That could be something about it because all these big stars coming in there doing their own thing. Mercedes, does she have creative control? Like how many other guys have creative control back there? And is that messing everything up? You're right, Chris.
Yeah, like where they really felt like they were almost like a family before, and now it's everyone's just fighting to get to the top or something. Like I don't know. I just a vibe I get from watching the show. It doesn't have that small feel to it anymore.
And just like every person that leaves that company, whether it be Mark Henry, Kevin Kelly, all of them, nobody listens. Nobody
Yeah.
wants advice. Nobody wants to grow. It's not a
Yep.
business. It's a hobby.
That was the thing with Regal, wasn't it? That they said
Yeah.
nobody would listen to Regal.
Yeah, Regal too. Everyone that's left there. So Arn Anderson probably will say the same thing if he ever gets interviewed. If anyone cares about interviewing Arn Anderson, I'm sure there is someone out there. But you know, it is what it is. So PWI top 500 came out. I talked about this with Bobby on No Holds Barred. It was hilarious getting his reaction because he hasn't really broken one of these lists down, so he was just losing his mind like you guys were previously, pre-show. So we are going to talk about it. Before we do that, though, I want to give you guys the criteria. What matters to these people who rank these wrestlers? So one, win-loss record. That matters. That's the number one thing. Championships. Quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion. Remember that one. Prominence within a wrestler's promotion. Okay. Overall wrestling ability, technical ability, influence, and then activity. And there's a link. So the activity says, it doesn't say, but I did hear on Busted Open Radio, I think earlier today, so maybe it was somewhere else. You had to have wrestled at least one match in 6 months. Like you couldn't be super part-time. You had to at least wrestle like 10 matches within a 6-month period. So that's the criteria. All right. Number one, Cody Rhodes. Is that a big surprise?
No, that one makes total sense considering your criteria that you just said.
Okay. Number two, Swerve Strickland. Does that make sense?
Considering their criteria, I would say it makes sense.
Okay. Because he was
because they're both the two of them are champions. Cody's story was bigger than Swerve, so I'm okay with Cody over Swerve.
And this is from August to August. It's a fiscal year, so August to August.
Yeah.
So August of last year, going into WrestleMania season, to SummerSlam to now. All right. So Will Ospreay, number 3. Does that make sense? Like, here's what I want to do. Because we can go through and go, does this make sense? Does this make sense? I'm just going to read you the top 10. And you tell me what sticks out to you. Either good or bad. 1, Cody Rhodes. 2, Swerve Strickland. 3, Will Ospreay. 4, Seth Rollins. 5, and I'm going to mispronounce a lot of these guys' names. Sorry. Tetsuya Naito. Damian Priest, 6. MJF, 7. 8, Jon Moxley. 9, Gunther. 10, Mystico. I'm going to let Chris start off first. What sticks out to you?
Well, I'm not going to speak to the people that I don't know who they are because I can't say yes or no if they belong there, right?
So they don't have influence?
I don't know who they are, so I can't.
Well, I'm saying, so they don't have influence. They're not. You don't know who they are, so they have no influence, and their major promotion is not a dominant one.
Not to me, the American viewer, because I just watch my 2. So
okay, all right.
They could be. Hey, listen, New Japan's big, but I don't watch it, so I don't know who's over there. So, but I'll say, as far as everything that you mentioned, I would have to say Moxley seems kind of high, top 10. You know, championships, and I feel like he hasn't been on the show as much lately, which has been, we needed a little Jon Moxley break, just like we need a Chris Jericho break. So I'm surprised that he is above someone like Gunther. I would think Gunther would be ahead of him. I don't know, Bryan Danielson, Drew McIntyre. I would see those guys possibly ahead of him. No, I'd put them ahead of him. So as far as inside the top 10, I think that would be my most surprising is that he made the top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Clutch, what about you, man? I know you're probably just waiting. You're waiting.
So first, I'm going to start off this with just a question. Mystico is Sin Cara, right? Or am I getting that wrong?
I'm going to ask you a question. Sure?
Okay. Okay, so that probably starts off my thing. What the hell is he doing there? Because I'm pretty sure he's
it is. It is him. It is him.
And I have not seen him since WWE, so
strong influence.
Don't know what he's doing. Yeah, must be doing something right wherever he's at. Gunther, I think he's grossly low on this list.
Okay.
Like grossly, I think. I think he
Gross.
probably
Where do you put him?
He can probably fit in that 5. Because then,
Gunther at 5.
yeah, because then you have Seth Rollins. I think it's good. He had a good title run. He was the MVP for WrestleMania for that run.
Mm-hmm.
Supported the hell out of that storyline.
Yep.
Priest. I mean, if it's from August to August, I guess you can argue he's lower. Towards the end, he got really, really good. But in the beginning, it was just him holding Money in the Bank, right? And people were just mad that he wouldn't cash in.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be lower on the list. But if we're looking at recency bias, I can see why he's high. Yeah, but you could have other wrestlers in there, like for example, because Mystical. What the hell? You could have Drew McIntyre, who's had a good year. Bryan Danielson, better year. So yeah, just going farther down on the list, there's probably people better than Mystical. I'm sure he's doing well wherever he is. And Naito, who again, wherever he is, must be doing fantastic.
So, I'm going to ask you this, and I'm sorry, Chris, but no, go ahead. I don't want you to lose your train of thought because I'm not going to remember. I'll remember mine.
Okay, I was just going to add one more, just right outside the top 10 there, number 11, Samoa Joe. That one's a little surprising. I don't know if where you're looking at this, but the website that I'm on, you can click on their name and it will show you the recent matches and everything that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And like Samoa Joe, like right now, his most recent match was July 10th on Dynamite, where he lost to Chris Jericho.
Wow. July 10th.
That's his most, and his most recent win, May 22nd on Rampage over Dom Kubrick.
Here we go. The other Dom.
Who? So this guy's number 11. Now, granted, he had the title for a little bit, but like,
I know 11's high. 11's high, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
but didn't he feel like a transitional champion though, right? So like we all knew he was just.
They still gave him his title defenses, and he still seemed important. The one thing I want to say about this entire list is I don't ever take it serious, and there's many reasons why. Vikingo, our favorite luchador, he's number 18. When's the last time we've seen him wrestle a match? When's the last time he's been on television? Chris, can you click that link on Vikingo?
I'm clicking it right now, Vikingo.
And while you're doing that, Eddie Kingston, dude's been out of action for the past 6 months.
It says the card that he was on was Dreamwave back in February.
See, well, this list is nonsense. It's completely nonsense.
He's been also in AAA, Ring of Honor.
Been doing good
January.
Things. Doing awesome things. Well, Clutch. While you dissect the career of Vikingo, Clutch, Logan Paul's 37. Are you surprised by this? Because I'm kind of surprised he's not a little bit higher.
I mean, wrestling wise, I think he's better than a lot of people ahead of him. I guess lack of matches, title defenses. Some people just don't like him as a person, don't like his character. But I mean, technically in the ring, I think he's better than a lot of the people above him.
And I mentioned this with Bobby. Mark Briscoe, love the guy so much. Want to see him succeed. 31's crazy high. He's never. What title does he have? ROH title? The title that nobody cares about. Literally nobody, not one person cares about.
Ranked higher than. Wait, let's look at the people that he's ranked higher than, because we were talking about this before. Like you said, he's ranked higher than Logan Paul. Ranked higher than Hangman Adam Page.
Sure.
Higher than Rey Mysterio.
Sure. Why not?
Higher than Joe Hendry.
Why not?
Higher than Braun Breaker.
That's crazy.
Totally makes sense.
That's 31,
31 compared to Braun Breaker's 52.
Totally makes sense. I don't know what the problem is.
Higher than Randy Orton. Higher than AJ Styles. Higher than Kevin Owens. Who else do we got? Is there anyone else?
Solo
Higher
Sikoa.
than Solo. Yep. I just got him. He's 66.
Yep, makes sense. Finn Balor.
Here's a big one. Dom Mysterio.
They did that on purpose. They put him 69 on purpose.
They had
You
to.
think-
They had to.
They had to have done that number there then.
Yeah. Darby Allin. Matt Riddle is higher than Darby Allin. What? What?
Yeah.
When's the last time that Matt Riddle has like wrestled a meaningful match?
The guy who was in Sting's retirement match as his partner is lower than the guy who got fired from WWE, and we haven't seen him do anything in forever.
Did Chris Jericho get snubbed only being ranked 90th?
He should be lower than that. Dude, Chad Gable is 89th.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia is better than Chad Gable. Daniel Garcia is 87th.
Chad Gable is one better than Chris Jericho.
Yep. Wheeler
Just
Yuta
that
is
much
better
better.
than Wheeler Yuta is better than Daniel Garcia, Chris Jericho, and Chad Gable. And Jacob Fatu.
No.
Daniel Garcia's hold on. And I want you guys to understand this stupid list. Wheeler Yuta has been out of action for like half the year, and he's ranked 86 on this list. He's ranked ahead of Darby Allin, who's had multiple title matches, multiple titles, multiple wins, and more historic moments on AEW television. But yet Tony Khan books Darby Allin to be higher and Wheeler Yuta lower. So make it make fucking sense. Sorry, Bobby.
So another one. You're gonna have to forgive me, but what the hell is Shinsuke Nakamura doing at 109th?
Yeah.
He hasn't wrestled at all. At all. He should be like in the 400s.
He's actually ranked higher than he was last year. He's +4 from last year.
He's higher than Bronson Reed, who's been doing much better.
Much better. What
Yeah.
else?
But Pac down at 112, I would think would be above some of these people.
And the funny thing is, we don't even see Roman on this list. Yet. We have not mentioned Roman's name. And we're down, and to me, I'm down in the 155s. So that just tells you everything you need to know about this. Well, honestly, if we're not like, talking shit and just being funny for fun's sake, Roman should be 2. It should be Cody 1, Roman 2.
Is there like a match like
He's
minimum?
not on here.
Yeah, 10 matches.
I don't think he's at 10 matches.
But I don't
August
care, though.
100.
That's so stupid.
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
And I made the argument that The Rock should be in the top 10. Who else made a more impact than The Rock when he came back? Who else?
Yeah.
When they came out with this list, I generally tweeted out, unironically, The Rock should be on this list.
Yeah. He should be. He should be in the top 10 easily because he matters more than any of these people on this list. If The Rock comes back to tomorrow night on Raw or SmackDown, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a huge deal. So, I don't know. This lists are always crazy. I love going all the way. I don't think Roman's on the list, to be honest with you.
He's not.
Wardlow.
No, I just did a search.
Hold on, guys. I got breaking news. Wardlow, 246. Hologram, who just got there, 248, 247. He's still above Wardlow, but one's still wrestling and one's not. Stu Grayson, 235, probably crushing it. I love that Justin's in the chat telling us that Matt Riddle's in MLW. I love you, dude.
Cool.
But come on, man. And you're not vouching for him. I'm sure you're not. You're just telling us where he is.
The Miz, 281. Kofi, 282. I'm guessing they haven't really been doing much.
Oh, you're all the way down there at 280s. Xavier Woods,
Yeah.
299. That's probably why he's mad at Kofi. That's why that's got to come up in the feud.
Yeah, PWI.
Let's let that get into a storyline. The PWI ranking.
Man, I'm
Someone's
down
showing
to
off where they're at.
I'm down into the 350s, and I'm not seeing any.
Ricky
Starks. Ricky Starks,
352.
352. I mean,
That's going to shoot up soon. That's going to go up soon.
yeah. Where is my boy? Notice how there's not really a lot of NXT guys unless there are, and I just don't know their names. Like
There's a
I saw
few.
Trick was up there.
There's Javon Evans in 95. Really
Okay.
good.
I saw Trick up way at the top. But I don't see where is
Ethan Page is there.
Yeah, where's Ethan Page? Where was he at?
75.
Okay, that's good. That's really good for him at least. Sonny Kiss, 372. Good for Sonny
Forgot
Kiss.
all
still
about
doing
Sonny
something.
Kiss. What about 408, Josh? Who's at
Oh,
408?
cheeseburger.
My guy, Obafemi, 53.
Who's that?
Oh
Seriously.
man, you're gonna love Obafemi if you ever watch him.
He's
He's
on
this
NXT?
monster in NXT. Yeah,
Okay. I
he's
hope
he's
to
a
watch him
current
one
he's
day.
a current North American champion.
Okay. Baron Corbin, 453. That's good. Good for you, Baron. You used to be down in your luck. Now you're up in the top 500 list. Johnny TV, you know him. I just love this. This is just like you can just read this whole list.
Tony Nese? I haven't seen his name in forever.
Oh, he's on this list too. Good for him. So honestly, guys, that's the list. There's no one else to talk about. There's no Peter Avalon. There's no Joey Janela this year. I guess Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson can't make the list because they're tag teams. You have to wrestle singles matches to actually make the list. So just don't take it too seriously, guys. It's just for fun. Bobby was flipping his shit though on Saturday night. He's like, "What is this?" Like he stopped the show. He's like, "We're done. This is the dumbest show of all time." Like, yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
I mean, you don't want to talk about Anakin Murphy, 497.
Yeah, I got a shirt coming in. Pro Wrestling Tees. I ordered it yesterday off of this
Nice.
list. I wonder what this list is for. Like who? I bet you though, and we're making fun of it, but Anakin, Sky, whoever that guy was, he's probably super stoked that he's in the list.
Yeah,
Like let's be honest, right? Like if you were a wrestler and you made like today, this is just me, but I got approved to rank on Fantasy Pros. I can now rank on Fantasy Pros, which is a big deal for me.
Is that why you were asking me about that?
Yeah. But again, I'm a nobody. Like I don't have a picture. I'm just a gray face and says Josh Kimmel. Like no one gives a fuck who I am. But like to me, I'm like, holy shit, I can finally rank on the show on this website. So for that person, Anakin Skywalker, he's probably super stoked. So let's not rain on the parade. I feel bad for him. But we're gonna get out of here, guys. Watch some. Chris is gonna watch football. Clutch, you're probably gonna go to sleep.
yeah.
I'm gonna play NCAA football. I got a match tonight. I actually had a match at 6:30, but then Chris wanted to do the show earlier, so I had to cancel on my guy. I double booked myself, brother. I pulled a Cody Rhodes, booked myself at a signing event, then I had to go wrestle the same day. Shit happens, man. But we're gonna get out of here. Talk about wrestling coming up next week. We have some big feuds coming down the line. I expect Rock to come back very, very soon, and that's gonna speed some things up in the world. We also have some surprise signings coming over to WWE. We'll talk about next week. Lucha, Rose. Did they bring Abrahando, whatever his name is? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Your favorite tag team from TNA is coming over.
Oh yeah, and the machine guns. Pew pew pew. Alex Shelley. I like him. I forgot who the other guy's name was.
Chris Sabin.
But I used to watch them in AEW a lot, or TNA a lot. But like I told you in the chat, I'm more of a beer money guy. Beer money.
Fair
James Storm. Yeah, they were awesome. But we'll talk to you guys next week. Until then,